The woman killed has been identified. Officials say 24-year-old Jezreel Poliate was one of 12 people shot outside Republic on South Peter Street around midnight yesterday. Poliate died at the scene. Officers say 11 others were taken to the hospital. No word on their condition.
Yeah, y'all know this. Your boy King Lucky Money, real reaction videos. Look at here, we got another video based out of Louisiana, man, New Orleans. Come on now, we done all been in New Orleans, man. You know, get out there on Bourbon Street, man. The people out there, it's drinks, it's girls, it's guys, it's people. It's the whole vibe. But guess what, though? With that vibe, there's always somebody out there in the crowd with that fire on them. This right here, man, this is a sad story out of Louisiana, man. Like I say, man, this young lady was tragically taken from her parents, her family, the whole nine behind an individual that just acted a fool that night. You know what I mean? So without further ado, let's get into the video.
This is the best way to describe what happened outside Republic NOLA in the 800 block of South Peter Street.
They were playing music. All you heard was bop, 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 like maybe at least 10 times at the least. There were people with blood on their shoes. They had blood on their clothes.
When police arrived at the scene, they found one woman dead and soon learned of 11 others injured, already en route to the hospital. Another witness recalls the moment he stepped outside of the nightclub into the street, seeing the horror that had just unfolded.
Once you got out, you had to step over the body just to walk out from that door right there. There was blood everywhere, inside and out. It happened so fast and it was so unexpected because the type of event it was, it didn't give off those type of vibes where you had to be worried. So when it happened, it was a bunch of confusion. Ain't nobody knew what was really going on.
We love her.
That's crazy, man.
We love her just today as we did before, you know, and you just keep looking at the door, waiting for her to come through the door, you know. And that's the hard part. Mm-hmm. She will not be coming through the door. She will not walk down that aisle. She will not have a husband, you know. So those are the things that I miss.
Just after midnight came a call no mother ever wants to get.
She called and she said, and she had a trembling in her voice. She said, "Is this Jezreel, Mama?" I said, "Yeah, what? What? What?" She said, "Jezreel is dead." Oh, Lord. That first call, when I got that call, that's a call that I never thought I had for my child.
A call that keeps replaying over
man.
and over again in her mind.
We want to hug her, you know. Even fuss at her. I want to fuss at her sometimes. I want to say something, but she's not there.
Their smiling daughter.
You would know she's in the room. You know, you really would, because she just would just light up a room.
Their only daughter.
I had hopes for my daughter. I had hopes of her life, you know, getting her married, having children, you know, grandchildren. And you think about those things in life, and now they won't be happening.
No longer here.
Damn.
And her seat at the dining table now empty.
This story takes us to New Orleans, Louisiana, where on Sunday, April 14, 2024,
man, that's crazy, man.
Jezreel Poliate, after spending an enjoyable day at the New Orleans French Quarter festivals, decided to extend her evening at the Republic NOLA, a popular nightclub and music venue in the Warehouse District. She briefly returned home around 10:30 p.m. to change clothes, during which her mother playfully cautioned her about going back out. She told her, "Didn't your daddy always say, once you come home, you stay home?" Her mother recounted that was the last time she saw her. Tragically, while Jezreel was in line at the club just before midnight, a gunman opened fire, fatally wounding her and injuring 11 others. This incident marked her last interaction with her family and a devastating turn of events for all involved. Welcome to Explore Crimes. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories.
That girl was just in the line at the club,
paints
man.
a harrowing scene of the mass shooting that took place outside the Republic NOLA nightclub, located in New Orleans' Warehouse District. This tragedy unfolded on a night that was supposed to be filled with fun and celebration during an event at church on Sundays. Jezreel Poliate was tragically caught in the crossfire and lost her life, casting a dark shadow over what many attendees expected to be a lively evening. According to witnesses, The gunfire erupted suddenly as attendees were either entering or leaving the venue. The initial reaction of many was confusion, as the sounds of gunfire were mistaken for part of the music. The reality of the situation quickly set in as the sounds continued, louder and unmistakably those of gunshots. The chaos that ensued was marked by panic and fear. People scrambled in all directions seeking safety, with some being trampled in a desperate rush. A witness captured video footage of the outbreak, showing people fleeing the scene, some with blood on their clothes, underscoring the severity and suddenness of the attack.
Well, new video and photos posted to social media show the chaotic scene and the minutes following a mass shooting in the warehouse district late last night. It left 1 woman dead and 11 others injured.
The woman killed has been identified. Officials say 24-year-old Jezreel Poliate was one of 12 people shot outside Republic on South Peter Street around midnight yesterday. Poliate died at the scene. Officers say 11 others were taken to the hospital. No word on their conditions. So far, no arrests have been made, but investigators say they are reviewing footage from several cameras in the area.
We were able to look at those cameras. And again, because this is a very early investigation, we don't want to give out a lot of information.
Oh, this scream. This scream.
That's sad, man.
Tonight, the family of the woman who was killed in a mass shooting says they're still trying to process the last 22 hours of their lives.
The family tells WDSU 24-year-old Jezreel Poliate was just going out to have fun when someone opened fire and killed her outside of a nightclub.
Only on 6 tonight, WDSU reporter Jonah Gilmore spoke with the family. And Jonah, how are they remembering Jezreel?
So, Gina, the family tell me they are remembering her just how she lived. They say she was fun, lovable, respectful, and saw the good in other people.
Jezreel Poliate, celebrated by her family and friends for her vibrant and loving personality.
Only child, y'all. Only
Jezreel was
child.
described as a joy to be around, always brightening up the spaces she entered with her smile and energy.
No kids.
A graduate of Helen Cox High School, Jezreel was involved in activities like the Majorette team, showcasing her love for performance and team spirit. Her interests extended beyond just performing arts. She had a passion for singing and a love for all things makeup, often sharing her beauty tips and tutorials with friends and family. Her character was marked by a kind-heartedness that saw the good in others, making her loved by many. She was her parents' only daughter, which deepened their bond and made her passing even more poignant for her family. Her parents described her as not just a daughter, but a beacon of light in their lives, whose absence left a profound void.
She had too much life in her. There's no way I ever thought I would lose my child.
The family of 24-year-old Jezreel Poliate holding tight to each other Monday night while trying to process her death.
Shut down.
It was like a movie when they told us this. You know, when we went out to the crime scene. I didn't know. I've seen this on television.
Yes.
You know, I've seen it in other people's lives. I never imagined it in my life.
No, Lord.
Not with my family.
The family says Jezreel was the only daughter, a former majorette that loved to sing and was a lover of all things makeup.
She be saying, "I'm going, Mama. I'm going." But she wants you to say she looks good. She wants you to tell her.
New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says this is the first incident at Republic since 2022. She says their focus is on public safety, working to get the city's gun issues under control, and
somebody
sending a stern
overfound
warning
the whole
to criminals.
I'd like to prevent it to begin with. That's really the number one thing, is to prevent the next shooting.
What a
But
cops was
if you do engage in shooting, we are going to find who you are. We are going to put a warrant on you, and we're going to go get you.
NOPD says the violence in New Orleans is down, but for the Poliate family, it just hit their home and hearts.
I thought about walking my daughter down the aisle one day and giving her away to some young man. I gave her away, but it was to God, and I thank God for it.
While they prepare to lay Jezreel to rest, they are holding to their faith.
Lord, we love you. God, we thank you.
And trusting on God to guide them through this time.
We also pray for the perpetrators.
Yes, Lord.
We know that they, may have malice in their heart, but God is able to change that.
So far, no one has been arrested and investigators have not announced a motive. But there is a video of what happened. There just happens to be an NOPD security camera in the same block pointed directly at the club's entrance, as well as several private cameras in the area that may be the key to solving this case.
We were able to look at those cameras. And again, because this is a very early investigation, we don't want to give out a lot of information.
Jezreel's life was full of promise and potential, cut tragically short, leaving behind a legacy of love, joy, and the unfulfilled dreams of a young woman whose life resonated.
That's messed up, man.
Those she touched. The emotional toll on those who knew Jezreel was profound. A schoolmate of hers expressed her grief, noting how life had been unjustly cut short for Jezreel, who had yet to experience so many of life's milestones. This sentiment was echoed by another local who lamented the ongoing violence in the city, feeling unsafe even in her birthplace, and fearing that the community's fabric was being torn apart, turning it into merely a tourist attraction at the expense of its native residents. This incident not only reignited discussions about gun violence in New Orleans, but also raised concerns about Louisiana's impending concealed carry law. Council President Helena Moreno expressed grave concerns that such legislation would complicate efforts to control gun violence, making it harder for law enforcement to manage and potentially leading to an increase in similar tragic incidents.
Che, this just in from Council President Helena Moreno, who's calling that shooting incredibly tragic. And she says she's got a lot of concern that we might see more situations like this when the state's concealed carry law goes into effect, which is going to make it much more difficult for the NOPD to maybe take guns off the street and prevent the shootings. She cited legislation by Representative Alonzo Knox or Kirk Talbot, maybe getting that approved. So at least New Orleans would help carve out some protections in some of these high traffic areas. She goes on to say that these two pieces of legislation demonstrate that there is bipartisan support for common sense regulations. She goes on to say the victims of this shooting are in her prayers, and she has been in contact with Chief Kirkpatrick to try and ensure that whoever did this is arrested quickly.
As the community grappled with the aftermath of this violence, calls to action were made, urging anyone with information to come forward to help bring justice for Jezreel and the other victims. The hope is that such tragedies can be prevented in the future, preserving the safety and integrity of the community. As preparations began to lay Jezreel to rest, her family held tight to their belief that though she was taken from them too soon, her spirit and the joy she brought to their lives would remain with them forever. In their sorrow, they found strength in each other and in their faith, which guided them through the darkest hours. Through tears and prayers, they remembered a life not defined by how it ended, but by the love and light it brought into the world.
Yeah, man, I just want to say, rest in peace to Jezreel, and to the cowards that did this opening fire on a crowd of people. That's a mass shooting, man. It can't be that serious. I'm sorry, it can't be that serious. You can't be beefing with somebody that bad. You can't want somebody that bad to where you're going to open up on a crowd of innocent people. Just never understood that. Just never understood that. Will never understand that. This young lady has lost her life. Her parents has lost their only child. This young lady would never have a kid. This young lady would never get a chance to be married. Her life is cut short. Behind what? I guarantee you this over some bull jive. I bet cash money had nothing to do with nothing. Once again, man, I want to send condolences to the family, man. It's your boy King Lucky Money. Real reaction videos. See you guys in the next video.